Welcome back to the second episode of the Perspectives podcast, everyone. Once again, this is a show for all cinephiles and cine-curious people alike. We're your hosts. I'm Edissa.
And I'm Heng. And today, we will be speaking to filmmakers Jessica Heng and Bambby Cheuk. Yay! They've been really making their way through the independent filmmaking scene. So let's get right into it.
Let's go to the movies, grab a friend, don't have a real one, we can play pretend.
Welcome back to a new week of the academic semester. As students are still enrolling in extracurricular activities, Perspectives Film Club continues its hunt for its next batch of film students.
That's right, my co-president. Today we'll be reviewing our applications for the filmmaker department. Okay, so let's see who we have here.
Alright.
Okay, so our first applicant is Jessica Heng. It says here that you are a filmmaker and director. In 2017, your documentary short, Kun Seng Road, won the URA Heritage Short Film Award. In 2020, you released Baby Boy, which won several international awards. And that year, your film, Just a Call Away, also clinched the top prize in the film competition Love Within.
Wow, that's stacked.
Yeah.
Okay, so equally as stacked over here, we also have Bambby. Now Bambby, it says here, you are a filmmaker and producer. Your works include documentaries Sea of Fertility, A Silent Forest is a Dead Forest, Just a Call Away, and Baby Boy, amongst others, all of which have garnered international acclaim. And in 2021, you won VITSEA's Most Inspirational Female Filmmaker.
Oh, you did.
So
not well deserved. Hey, don't say that about yourself.
And together, your short film Breaking News, which Jessica directed and Bambby produced, was selected for the 2022 lineup in SGIF.
That may be an audition to get into film club for you guys, but that was a reading aloud examination for us. I must mention that we rejected the previous applicants for being overqualified.
Wow.
So your prolific film careers are really cutting it close.
Of course, as part of our rigorous application process, we'll have to first find out more about your careers as filmmakers thus far. So it says here that both of you are communication students, so with so many other tracks you could have chosen, when did you decide that filmmaking was the path that you wanted to take?
I don't think there was a very clear or distinct decision. I think for as long as I can remember, I've always loved film. And okay, backstory is we've been friends since we were 13 years old. I don't know if you guys know that, yeah. So we went to the same secondary school and the same JC. And I think we just started attending like film festivals or any film screenings that we could get our hands on back at that time. I think at that time there was like a raw energy to it, right? Like you're a bit like naive, young, wide-eyed. A funny story I can share is that we went to this documentary screening, of which the title I will not mention, but we were so inspired afterwards that we went up to the film director and said like, we'll do anything, can we like help you in your next film?
We Facebook messaged the guy, didn't we?
You just jumped ahead the story.
Sorry. Sorry, start again.
Yeah, so okay, so he was very open, and then we thought that this is our big break, you know, like this is how we plant both our feet into the film industry.
Yeah, we were like in our school uniforms and we like went up the lift level 5 projector. Then we sat in the cinema, obviously we cried through the film, it was beautiful. And then we walked up to them in our school uniforms saying like, we're ready for a big break. And then they were like, the guy was like, sure, contact me. And then we did. We Facebook messaged him and I remember we crafted the message at the canteen table the next day. We were like, we gotta like do this right. We gotta say all the right things. We gotta impress this fella. And then we texted him and then he didn't reply us.
We did make a pact, I believe, like somewhere along the road that we wanted to like do film together. So I think that was fulfilled when we decided to take the same course and then make films together.
Right. Okay, now that on the topic of you guys being childhood friends, you guys have also frequently collaborated as director and producer. So can you share with us a little bit more about the story behind how you became creative partners from friends?
I think it was quite instinctual. I mean, there weren't many people back in JC that were as passionate about film or art as I think Bambby was, so it was a natural draw to kind of invest in that kind of creative energy together. And I think we have skill sets that complement each other. She's the more optimistic of us. I think I'm more introspective in some ways. And I think it also helped that we were interested in different vocations. Like I wanted to write, direct, create those worlds, and Bambby was interested in bringing her skill set to help a vision come to life. So in that sense of like hard skills, I think we also complemented each other there. Yeah, I think the thing I appreciate most about her though is that she isn't just operational. Like with every story, I am always assured that if I come to her with it, there will be some form of bouncing back and forth, some form of brainstorming. So she also brings her own creative lens into every story that we tell. I think that's what I appreciate most about our partnership.
I think Jess and I have worked together for many years, and because we are friends, that foundation also makes every intentional decision that we make something that is loving and something that is kind. Because I know how she would react to this, I know how she would decide on these things. So when we are working together, she kind of leads the directing department and I lead the producing department. And because of that, we are basically leading a bunch of people who are coming onto the project, believing in Jess's vision or believing in our decisions that we're making together. And when we come together with that common goal and that common understanding of who we are together, that makes the whole set a lot more cohesive.
I think there's also an alignment in vision. I think there is care for the craft, but there's also care for the people and processes that are part of this work. And I think it's important to be on the same page because then that determines our priorities throughout the process. So I'm always assured that I know she is she's fully accountable, and the fact and like caring for the people involved is like also top of her mind. So I think if there's no alignment there would be a lot of different divergences. So I'm glad that we have those same parallels.
Nice. So you guys take a very humanistic approach
I
to
hope
making
so.
film.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yes.
It's from start to end, from the day it's conceptualized to when the film reaches the eyes of someone else, to after the film dies and the person that is living with that experience. I think that's important. And I think we see that maybe at the start it was not so apparent or not so intentional, but over the years, dealing with more and more sensitive communities and individuals, that's something that we've decided that we want to be able to champion and do properly in our crafts and as people through our work.
Nice. Besides that, at the beginning when you first chose filmmaking as a path, do you remember what your goals were? And if you do remember, how have you kept to it or how has it changed over the course of your careers?
I remember this. I can share first. You can have some thought. I remember that at the start, Jess was also part of this core memory where she told me to watch, which is still my all-time favorite film, Forrest Gump. When I was young, I was a menace. Like, I was the worst person in the world. I was just a horrible child. And then I felt like I didn't have a safe space or friends that I could really call my own and that wouldn't judge me. And then when she told me to watch Forrest Gump, I remember hiding with my laptop under my blanket at home watching it. And that film really opened up my eyes to this person who could do anything he wanted to do in the world. And then I was just so motivated from that one film. And I felt so safe watching that film that I was inspired to make more films that can make people feel this safe. Getting where I am today, I'm still trying to work at that. And not just creating a safe space for the product of the film at the end, but also designing that production process that encapsulates this safety from start to end, like what I said just now.
I also do think it's a process of trial and error. Like we don't always get it right the first time. But then I think it's to not be intimidated that you offend, because if you are, then you will just never offend or never learn, right? So I think it's also understanding that we will take a while to get it right, but at least we are moving towards a better place.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Wow, so many inspirational quotes for the day.
For real.
I would also like to add that I mean, this is not the only way of filmmaking. I mean, this is our practice, but then there are many other kinds of filmmaking that maybe might not align to this kind of practice, and that's okay. I mean, I think that's the beauty, right? Like there's diversity in filmmaking. There are filmmakers that are more experimental, filmmakers who are having a different approach, filmmakers who maybe prioritize different things, but I think that's a spectrum, and then we just exist somewhere on the spectrum.
Okay. Moving away from discussing the subject matter and the images in your film, we want to talk about an equally important but often overlooked component of film, which is sound. So, as a director or producer, in what ways do you consider how to build a world in your film through sound or music?
We don't use a lot of music, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that kind of speaks for itself. I kind of like diegetic sounds a little bit more. I mean, we did an interesting project called A Silent Forest is a Dead Forest, which, I mean, it's about sound inherently. It's about Clementi Forest, and the title came because the profile was sharing with us that, yeah, if the forest is silent, you should be worried. And so if you come to a forest and it is buzzing, then that's a good sign. Yeah, so I think inherently there was that component of like soundscape, even though it's not intentional. I mean, I don't approach a film with the concept of sound top of my mind, but I think in the midst of that, we will, kind of make allowances for either the presence or absence of sound.
Actually, why don't you like to put music in your films?
It's not that I don't like it. I just feel like, if it doesn't serve the intention or function, then there's no need for it. Sometimes you can just let the work breathe.
That's true also. That's true. I'm a maximalist in life. I'm super maximalist, so but I'm also not very rich. So then I always get my boyfriend to to do sound for my films. Yeah, so he made the music for Sea of Fertility and Baby Boy. And I think for Sea of Fertility, I kind of wanted this idea of being underwater. And I wanted that to be the feeling throughout the film. So some people might find it droning, but I just really like the sound of underwater deafness. That was the sound that I really liked, and I thought he captured that really well in the film. And then for Baby Boy, it was a bit more experimental also, because there were some parts which were fully music, some parts which were like the ones where like the ching.
Oh, like reenactment of sounds. Yeah.
Alright, so thank you so much for your insightful responses. Now, even though you guys fared well during the interview, it doesn't exempt you from the next segment that we'll be going through, which is our entrance test. Okay, so for this next segment, we'll be playing a game called
Hello? No, Timothy Chalamet can't be on the phone right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow,
That was so
good. So good.
Thank you. We're actors.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're no strangers to the work marriages formed between filmmakers and the actors that they love to work with over and over again, right? We have Greta Gerwig and Saoirse Ronan, Christopher Nolan and Cillian Murphy. And as aspiring filmmakers, an asset that you're going to bring to the club is the repertoire of actors you know and want to work with in the future.
Okay, so here we've prepared some film summaries and casting notices, which you must answer with local actors that will be suitable for the role. So casting notice number 1, are you guys ready?
Yes.
That's so enthusiastic.
Yes!
Okay, so it's for the local remake of 那些年我们一起追的女孩 or You Are the Apple of My Eye. So in this classic Asian coming-of-age movie, who would you cast to play hot-blooded bad boy Guo Jingteng and top of her class Shen Jiayi?
Aiyo, the ones in my head might be too old already.
No, it's okay.
There's a chasing spiders guy. Is his name not Fraser?
Fighting spiders.
Chasing spiders. Fighting spiders. You're right.
Yes.
guy's
The
name,
Matchbox.
He's so handsome,
It's true, it's true.
Oh my gosh, but I don't remember his name.
I remember the girl in that though. It's Kimberly Chia, right?
Yeah,
Isn't it Edwin? Like
I
the
think
Chinese
so.
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he might be too old to play him already.
He's
Yeah,
also in
probably
Australia.
Like, for the girl? Do you have any ideas for the girl?
I think Eliza would be a good fit.
Yeah.
Eliza is the actress who was in Breaking News. So she comes across as like quiet and all that, but she actually has quite a crazy side, including like burping on her private Insta story. So I feel like she'll be perfect for a little bit of an unhinged Shen Jiayi role.
For sure.
Oh no, wait, I'm thinking of the wrong movie. Wait,
You're thinking of Our Times.
I think of Our Times. Oh,
they're
but she
basically
would also fit the Shen Jiayi role. Yeah.
But they're basically the same movie.
Yeah.
But we need more.
Yeah, we need more.
I love it. I've cried like 7 times to us.
Like you watched it 7 times. Oh wow.
That's incredible.
It's like my comfort film.
Okay, so that is for casting notice 1. Actors, please. You have jobs. You have jobs now. Okay, casting notice 2 is for the local remake of
White Chicks. So in this iconic 2000s hit, who would you cast to play the Copeland brothers, 2 FBI agents who must go undercover as white girls on a mission?
So we're looking for someone with like, chemistry, a pair with
Like, really
chemistry.
a pair with Singaporean
chemistry,
duo.
yeah.
Two guys with chemistry.
Or two girls
Oh,
with
that
gender
sounds,
bandit.
that sounds impossible. Like, two guys with chemistry.
In this economy.
Yeah, unheard of.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's like comedy. Actually, one comedic guy that I really love watching, and turns out he's a crew, which I didn't know. His name is Justin Ng.
Oh,
He was
Justice
so
Faith
good.
Ng?
He was in this like web series called The Average Guys, and he was just so hilarious. I've never laughed at local content so much. Usually I'm a hater, but it was so funny. It was so good. And then afterwards, one day I came on set, and he was like, "What do you want for breakfast?" The huh? But then this guy, I think he was the cam. He was like he was working on camera that day. I was just so shocked, and I was kind of starstruck. But then I kind of had to hide it because I had to be professional.
I know. Just
I know. I think he'll be great for White Chicks. He'll be so funny. Like he would add so much character.
Who would be his partner in crime?
Kirsty?
No. No, not Here's either. Who's this guy?
Your cut hurts you.
Actually, yeah, what do you think of Hersey? He'll be like so good. Hersey and Muna, isn't it? Not usually. The combination, they would be so good for White Chicks.
So we've replaced Timothy Chalamet. Yeah.
With all these great local actors. So local directors, please keep a lookout for them.
So while we deliberate whether you have been qualified for the club, we've prepared a final activity called
Opening
the Letterboxd.
Okay.
So in this segment, you'll be given a little worksheet. With some reviews
so
made by
excited.
Letterboxd users of beloved films.
Alright, so the first film we are reviewing the Letterboxd review of is Shrek. Okay, so Jessica, can you just read out the review for us?
Just a reminder how much I redacted Loathe Everything to Do with Shrek. Worst redacted thing ever. I just get angry each time I see his face. The fact that people make a meme about him, about finding him attractive, just makes me more mad because he doesn't deserve the clout. I genuinely wish for it to just disappear from this world and for everyone to forget about it. Maybe then the world would be a better place. And don't even ask me why I hate it. Worst question ever, because then I think about why I hate it and it just makes me more mad. I hate him because I do. Any more questions? He needs to redact it off my reality. My favourite colour was green and now it's not anymore. I used to love playing in the mud but I don't anymore. I used to love British but I don't anymore. All because of him, that demon. He's responsible for all the doom in my world and he should pay for that by not existing in it anymore. Get rid of him.
There's so much emotion there.
This review was written by Lord Farquaad. Tell me. Out yourself now.
Oh my god, his username starts with an F. It's user Fabuglass. That's like Farquaad.
Lord Fabuglass.
Wow, this is so vindictive. What did Shrek do to this person?
No, someone told me that in DreamWorks, people threw the worst, like the colleagues that they didn't want to work with, they threw them to work on Shrek. Something like that. Like it was like their worst worst project in the company on their state, something like that. So everybody who were kicked off of other projects worked on Shrek. Then lo and behold, then people just went ham. People went crazy because nobody was probably watching them. Like and whatever the Shrek people do whatever they want.
Shrek people.
You know the film about the ogre.
Yeah, the ogre film that's not gonna sell. Look at them eating their words. I don't remember another DreamWorks film.
Yeah. Alright, the next film is My Octopus Teacher. Can we have Bambby read the two reviews that Zaynar and Henry Armstrong has left for us?
Sure. 3.5 stars. I've been successfully emotionally manipulated. Heart emoji. Broken heart emoji. Never eating octopus salad again. Sad. Another one. 3.5 stars. This man's wife is probably pissed. Lamau. He straight up had an affair with an octopus. It doesn't get worse than that. Oh my god, so many likes. 1,143 likes.
Yeah, we put this in because, like Sea of Fertility. Like,
Oh, I really like My Octopus Teacher though. I didn't get that he was in an affair with the octopus, but I can get his. It must be quite wild to like have your husband just go out to his backyard diving every day.
I think like this parasocial relationship.
Yeah,
with an octopus.
yeah. It's cool to watch as a docu, but I'm sure it's quite wild to live with a man like that in the house.
Literally. Imagine you're like just eating dinner and all he talks about is his
No.
octopus that he visited
No.
today.
that gave me the chills for real.
PTSD.
No, not PTSD. I just never. No.
Okay.
PTSD. Who am I living with?
It kind of reminds me of like Free Solo, all these like people with extremities. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch My Octopus Teacher?
I didn't.
Oh my gosh, you will love it, Jess. It's so cute.
Okay.
Not cute. It's so sad. It's
It's
so
like touching-ish.
yeah. It's so weird. It's beautiful.
Yeah, but then I went online and then after that, I read about how some people were saying that this dude is like projecting human emotions on this octopus, which is also kind of strange. Like in that sense, like he's like, oh my god, she's like so sad and like, but how do you know? Like, maybe she's just living, like she's just vibing. Yeah,
It's true. It's true.
yeah.
Yeah. But octopuses,
Octopi.
they be staying. Octopi.
I don't know.
They be staying in the zeitgeist, Like remember the World Cup where they had that octopus
yeah.
decide who was gonna win,
Yeah.
and they've been staying in the culture ever since. Yeah.
It's so painful.
I learned something new today.
Hey, octopus are so clever.
Yeah,
You know, Josh
sure.
also doesn't eat octopus because octopus have consciousness. So he doesn't eat, although he loves. But he's okay with sotong.
Okay.
That
Sotong
cousins.
brains. So, we've unfortunately come to the end of our recruitment session for the day. It was amazing to hear from our two lovely guests, Bambby and Jessica. So before we end, I'm curious, Bambby and Jessica, how did you find the application process today?
Very nerve-wracking, very spontaneous. Had to think on my feet a lot. But I think you guys are very thoughtful in the whole process of it. Yeah.
And you guys gave great responses.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope we lived up to your expectations.
Definitely.
Rosie and Mona
Surpassed
locked in.
them.
And we like passed a few questions. I don't know.
Flying colors.
No, we can't say that.
Sorry. You're right. Okay.
So before we finally give the results of the applications, I'd like to once again give a rundown of our applicants' profiles again. So we have Bambby Cheuk, who can be found at Bambby Cheuk on Instagram, as well as Jessica Heng, who is at JazzyCar on Instagram. So for more updates on the Perspectives Film Club, our dearest fans can follow at Perspectives Film Festival on Instagram for more updates. We recently dropped quite a bit of information about our film festival, so you can also click on our link tree for the rest of our socials for the latest updates and details of our festival happening from the 26th to 29th of October.
Thanks to the Lowdown Eating. To stay tuned for more application interviews with different film hopefuls to our prestigious film club, you may follow us on Spotify and YouTube as well. Remember to turn on your push notifications to be notified of new episodes. Finally, this episode was brought to you by NTU Wee Kim Wee School of Communication and Information.
Alright, with that, we've come down to the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the finally time to announce the results of Jessica and Bamby's application to the Perspectives Film Club. So, drum roll please.
Congratulations, you're both in!
But with the condition that you both hit our nature documentary department. So, your first project is to go and save the penguins in Antarctica.
You'll be posted to Antarctica starting tomorrow for a year. Any concerns?
No concerns. Okay, meeting adjourned.
Bye!
Have fun in Antarctica.
Where's our ticket?
Next applicant, please.
Let's go to the movies. Here's the way. Everything can happen if you